Welcome back everybody. We're here, St Donat's. I was supposed to fish it the other day, I didn't, I fished Wick. It's a beautiful day, I've been working since 6 this morning. I thought I'd be foolish to stay at home and carry on working, so I'm here to have a good time and to share with you what I catch. So what are you thinking? Hounds? Maybe, who knows? But I'm just going to fish. I'm going to fish 2 hookers, 3 hookers, fish baits. I got a little bit of crab, a little bit of frozen, a little bit of fresh. Hopefully a hound turns up, but hopefully I can catch a variety of species like I did last week down here. And if I can, I'll be really happy with that. Last week I had Huss, eels, dogs, bass, pouting, and if I can get another little session like that, I'll be really happy. It's rough ground, it is quite gnarly. I'm expecting to lose a bit of gear. I brought 2 rods, I'm only going to fish 1. I brought the second rod just in case I catch a bit of bait and I think, okay, I'll put a pulley out and I'll see if I can catch a bigger eel or a bigger Huss or maybe a bass or something like that. But for most of the session, hopefully, I'll just be fishing 1 rod, 2 hookers, 3 hookers, fish baits, whatever, see what's available. Let's see what's hungry and what's out there today. So here we are, ready to go. I've got my 2 hooker, my rod and bottom. Give your rod a little pull, make sure your tip's not wrapped. Hopefully, it's about half hour before low water at the moment. That tide should have eased. I'm going to put it out there. I'm not going to be power casting because hopefully the fish are only going to be 80 to 90 yards out. Just going to be giving it a flick, putting it in the stand, putting the ratchet on just in case a hound does turn up. Rebaiting, keep an eye on that tip, set the clock and see if we can catch some fish. Hopefully not too many dogs. There we go, just over that tide line. Get that drag set. I put a couple of small rocks on the stand just to give me a bit of security if I'm not keeping an eye on stuff and I forget to put my drag on. And if a bit of weed or a hound does come along, then hopefully it won't pull my rod over. But there we go, we're all set up. Let's get the second rig baited. Oh. I think we can guess exactly what that is. I wasn't really expecting that. Feels like she's locked up on the bottom. Bit of slack and hopefully it'll swim off with it. There was no crab on there. There was squid on one, bluey and sandy on the other. I can't feel anything at the moment, so either she's dropped it or she's locked up with the rig or the leader on a ledge. And I was hoping the first hour would be quite quiet so I could get settled. I'm going to put it back in the stand. I'm going to leave the drag on, put it back in the stand, carry on what I'm doing, and then we'll see what occurs. I think she's still on there. I'm going to put a bit of pressure on. Let's have a look. So we lost that fish in the end, but it's not all negative because I managed to get my gear and my rig back, which means that the fish isn't locked up out there on the reef or the ledge. So that in itself is good news. I didn't have any crab on there, so I wasn't expecting to get a run, but just in case I did put my ratchet on, and if I didn't, that rod would have been on the floor and damaged. So luckily, just in case, I put those few rocks on the stand and my ratchet on. It just gives you that security just in case. I wasn't expecting to get a hound run. I didn't have any hound runs here last week. So, bit of information about St Donat's. We are east of the Nash Lighthouse. You might just be able to see it by there in the corner of the screen. Okay, we got St Donat's Castle just to the left. It's an art college, university college. Students come from all over the globe to go there and do their art degrees and learn and progress their life. It's a fantastic part of the coast. Again, it is absolutely stunning. Last week there was a peregrine flying around up there in the cliffs, keeping us entertained, squeaking and squawking away. It is absolutely gorgeous. We've got miles and miles of these cliffs. We're about 4 miles east of Wick, of where I was the other day in the other video. And all in all, this entire stretch of beach, all fishes pretty similar. It's all graunchy and rough. I expect to lose gear. I wasn't expecting to get that first cast back when that hound locked it up. But sometimes, if you get a run and they lock you up, you put it in a stand, leave your ratchet on. Sometimes they'll drop you slack or pull you out where they've unlocked your leader off the ledge or something like that. So just be patient sometimes, and sometimes the fish will work with you. So we're back out, 2 hookers out there. There is crab on there, so maybe we'll get a run on this cast. Got to be diligent. Going to get a reel back on that spare rod straight away, so I'm ready just in case I lose this one as well. There you go, we're off the mark with a woofer. It's not a problem. There's plenty of time to go. I've had 3 very quick casts. Each cast's only been in the water less than 10 minutes, and there's been bites every time. So hopefully that's the start, and hopefully we'll have some more species and some more fish soon. Been out there 11 minutes and it has not stopped since we hit the water, so I'm going to get it in. Well, I said there was plenty of fish out there. That's 3 fish on a 2 hooker, and the 1 dogfish isn't even hooked. We got a strap eel and a pair of dogs. 11 minutes that was in the water. So it's looking up. Hopefully now on the flood it'll start to pick up and we'll see a few more species. Well, we got bit off on that cast. 60 pound mono. Pretty confident it was a Huss. Quite a lot of weight from the start. I was pumping it in halfway and just went slack. And unfortunately they have got very aggressive mouths, lots of teeth. So it's not going to plan today, but it's okay. We're out, it's a beautiful day. You really can't beat the isolation of having a whole beach to yourself. It's fantastic. You don't get it a lot in South Wales. A lot of the marks are rammed and crammed up with people, and people fighting over certain spots on certain places. But to get a place to yourself, I love it. There's no one for miles, just me and the fish. They're all mine if I can get the bastards in. Not having a great day today. Lost a few, lost a Huss, lost an end with fish on it, lost that hound. So what? So what? I'm happy. I might even lob up my second rod, just in close. Sometimes the Huss and the Rockland are quite close in. And I really want to get a Huss. I fancy one. So I might just lob. I've got a flapper out. And I might just lob it. Just 30 yards, just on the edge. The tide's turned now, so the fish be coming through with the water and working away along the ledges and the reefs, looking for the bits of crab, and there's loads of crab and shrimp and stuff down here. Last week when we were here, Kenny was putting back some of our fish, and he came back up. He said, "Look what I found." He had a cuttlefish. Big massive cuttlefish, must have weighed 2.5 to 3 pounds, massive thing. They'd been smashed, they'd been absolutely annihilated by something, but it was there, you know, it was whole, but it was ripped open, so something had had it and then it washed in. So there's all sorts of food out there, and that's what's great about the beaches in South Wales. It's amazing. We've got so many food chains, and the diversity of life here is incredible. And today the sun's out. I couldn't care if I don't catch another fish. I'm just happy to be here. These dogs are on the baits in minutes, and unfortunately they're not letting anything else get to it. I've been here 90 minutes, the tide's flooding now. I've just moved back 10 yards. I've had maybe 7 dogs on that eel. I've just put a 2-hooker, about 30 yards, some small fish baits, just out of that dogfish range, just to see if we can get a rockling or something else. And I've also bit the bullet, and I put a bit of prawn and crab on a pulley as a last resort, but I really think as soon as that goes out there, there's going to be a dog on it. But there were hounds here earlier, and there's a chance, so we're going to persevere. Another couple of casts. I'm reeling after 10 minutes and I'm having 2 dogs every cast, so it's hard to know what to do. Just got to persevere, stick at it. Looks like my session might be caught short because the fish are so insistent on getting on that bait, but not the fish we want. And straight away, it's out, tips out. Let's get it in. My last bit of crab and prawn on a pulley. The last chance. Let's see if we can catch something other than a dogfish. Well, isn't it strange how life works sometimes? On my 2-hooker, I've just pulled in a bullus, the target species, one of the target species, angry little bullus, not huge, £1.5, £2, but one of the species we come for, and a beautiful little rockling. Not a dogfish on either hook, a rockling and a bullus. What we come for, a few species. So we're up to 4. I think I've got to put that rockling out. Beautiful bullus, lovely markings. I really like these fish. I had 6 down here last week, so I was quite surprised that I've had so many dogs today. I've sort of done what Lewis done. Last week Lewis had 17 dogs and 1 Huss. I think I had 6 bullus, 4 eels, a pout and a bass and 12 dogs. I had all the bits and the species and he had the dogs, and I've sort of done what he did last week today. I've had all the dogs, but now we're on the fish and it's almost time to go home, but it doesn't matter. Last baits are in the water. We've got a rockling on the one, 2-hooker on the other. I'm ready to go home. I've enjoyed it. I've had maybe a dozen dogs, a strap, a rockling and a bullus. I didn't think we were going to get there, but we did. We had a couple of different fish other than the dogfish. So all in all, I'm happy. It's been a bit of a result. See if we can pull off something nice on the last cast. That rockling's out there. Just an eel, £5–6, and I'll be made up. Really happy. I'm going to be a magical fish or a fish of a lifetime. You just got to hope your little plan that you put together pays off. So we're going to give this 15 minutes now, and then we'll see if we can pull in something else other than a dogfish. If you are curious on how to get to St. Donat's and how to fish it and where to go, you see the woods by there. I've got to walk back to there and then 2 more fields. So it's a good 1.25 mile walk. It's a long walk, it's not for the faint-hearted, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of the marks in South Wales are untouched. And there's loads of marks here. We got the slab further up, then we got the chair further round, the big ledge further round again. If you come this side, then we got Tresillian, and we got the little chair, and there's loads of marks which people don't fish because they're not accessible and people don't want to walk. They'd rather fish the easier marks, and I completely understand that. But me personally, I'm more than happy to put in a bit of legwork, get out, have the place to myself, and just enjoy the freedom of being fishing. Because one day I'm not going to be able to fish. I might not be here, or I might be disabled, or who knows, and I just want to make the most of my life, and we all should do that. Just get out and enjoy it. It's no point being pissed off with the dogfish and pissed off. I've gone through 3 reels today. I've gone through about 7 rigs because the fish have just been wrecking them, but that's life. That's what you expect, and you've got to expect a bit of hardship, and I'm more than happy to put that hardship in and get some results. And I try and keep the videos realistic because it doesn't always go your way. It's not always about showing a video where you catch stacks and stacks of good fish, because that's not life and that's not realistic for the average angler. So it's important to know that, you know, even the best of anglers don't always have it their way. They have bad luck as well as good luck. It's important to understand that, because, you know, we all have red letter days where we catch loads of fish and loads of good fish, but we also have bad days where things go wrong. We lose fish, we get fish hooked up on the bottom, we get fish pulled off, we lose fish at the edge of the water, and that is part of fishing, and that's what makes us motivated and hungry to go out over and over again and to enjoy it, and to set yourself targets if you're that way inclined. I'm not so much like that. I just like going out and being out in the fresh air and enjoying myself, and I think it's a really good way to think, because like I say, one day we're not going to be here, one day you might have some poor circumstance or poor bit of luck where you can't get out to these places, you know what I mean? I know there's anglers out there who would love to come and fish these marks, but they're too old and they can't do it anymore. But they've done it for their whole life, so they've enjoyed it, and now it's my turn and everybody else's turn, and that's just a cycle of how things go. Well, there's another pair of rig wrecking dogs on the 2-hooker at the end. There doesn't seem to be anything happening on the Rockland. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes and then I'm just going to pack up and head home. See what happens. The bane of people's life. 6 weeks ago they couldn't get a bite and now they're cursing him. I'm more than happy to catch him. It's fishing. I'm happy just to put a bend in my rod. Go enjoy myself. You should try it. Well, that's the end of that. Not even a dogfish one in my Rockland, so unfortunately I sacrificed him for nothing, but I'm willing to do that. I got my lead back, that's a bonus. I've had a nice day, soaking up the sun. I've been here 2.5 hours, the tide's pushing in now. I could have a few more casts, but I'm done. I'm ready to go home. I've had my fun. Thanks for watching. If you need anything, give us a message.